Has sanity started to return to the Charlotte real estate market? Well, I think there's a couple of facts that point to yes, and today we're going to dig into that a little bit. I'm going to tell you my opinion and try to back it up with some data showing that maybe it's starting to slow down just a touch. Stay tuned. All right, my friends, welcome back. If you haven't met me before, my name is Jon Patrick. I'm a full-time realtor here in Charlotte. I have lived in this area for over 40 years, unbelievably, and I absolutely love it. I love introducing people to the Charlotte area. So if I can help you find out more information about what it's like to live, work, and play here in Charlotte, you have come to the right channel. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me. Give me a call, give me a text, give me an email, whatever works for you, because I got your back if you're moving to Charlotte. So if you've read anything on the news or if you've watched some of my previous videos, you know that the Charlotte market is on fire. And it only got worse when the pandemic hit. People expected to slow down, and it didn't happen. Basically, the demand just all got bottled up and then unleashed. And we've seen massive price appreciation. We've seen multiple offers, decreasing time on the market for houses, and literally buyers having to see a house, make a decision within 15 minutes, and then offer over list price just for a chance to be in the conversation. Now, I've started to see some signs that things are returning more to normal. I'm not saying it's a slowdown. I'm not saying that it's going to right itself and that we're going to move out of a seller's market. I think it's still going to be busy. I think that there's still going to be multiple offers on properties. But I think that the almost hysteria that we've been having is going to settle down a little bit. Something more rational. And I've got a lot of information that kind of points in the same direction. This video started because it started to feel a little different. As we've moved out of the spring and into the summer, I'm recording this in the middle of July 2021, just the market has started to feel a little bit different as I'm working with buyers, and I've noticed some other agents I've been talking to have said the same thing. So I wanted to dig in a little bit and see, am I imagining it, or is there some data to back this up? So the first thing we want to talk about is inflation. All right. Now, the inflation rate has started to move up with 2021, and that has put a little bit of a damper on people's optimism, let's say. Now, let's flip over here and look at the screen real quick. This is actually from Macro Trends, and this is a 5-year view of what the inflation rate has been. So 2, 1.9, 2.3, 2020 was 1.36 because nobody was buying anything. And then all of a sudden, it says right here 3.35. I actually think that it's gone up to about 5% right now. That's what I saw. And so this is kind of putting a damper on things. Now, for those of us who are old enough, we know that 3.35% is still really good. So let's go back here on all years. And what you can see is this is where we are now. Well, back here, 1918, right at the end of World War I, you're talking about 14%. Oh, look right here, right at the end of World War II, 18 and 8. Oh, here's the late 70s and stagflation, 13, 12%, 9%. So we're still in really good situation. But when you look at the history of an entire generation that has grown up thinking that 2% is normal, all of a sudden going up to 3.5%, 5%. Okay, what's happening here? We need to be a little more careful with our money. Now, a little bit surprising, we've expected interest rates to start climbing for the past several years. And that hasn't really happened. We've had a couple of jumps, but it's always settled back down again to near historic lows. So this pulled this up today. Your 30-year fixed rate is about 2.9. 5/1 ARM is 2.52%. But let's go back and look at the 3-year view. And you can see a general trend down with a couple of jumps in here. So I remember in 2020, This is in the, when the pandemic was going on, we thought interest rates were going to go up. Nope, they continued to fall. Let's look back at the whole view, everything they get, which goes back into the 70s. And again, right there at the end of Jimmy Carter, beginning of Ronald Reagan, you can see interest rates for a mortgage was 18%. And now we're sitting down here. So I think overall the feeling is that eventually rates have to start climbing. Certainly with inflation pressures, we're going to start seeing interest rates go up. But right now, these low interest rates are still fueling buyers and their demand. But as that increases, it's going to be eating into their ability to buy. So if you've got prices going up, but interest rates are going up too, the amount you qualify for is going to buy less house. That's putting a little bit of a damper on everything too. Well, let me flip over here to this other screen. And this is from, it's called SAM. It's one of my tools I have as a realtor. And what you can see in the past 3 years, what I'm doing, homes for sale in the Charlotte market have decreased. Okay, the number of homes for sale. Pending sales, those that are under contract, have jumped up. Closed sales have jumped up. Days on market, once it loads, dropped, right? Sales price climbing. Price per square foot. I can't get this last one. There we go. So everything shows you, these are the graphs that show you the increasing market. But the one I really want to hone in on here, is the new listings. So go back to 2018 and you saw a general trend upwards. All right. Now I've said many times on the channel, the big problem and what's driving all this appreciation is a shortage of homes. On the one hand, we don't have enough existing houses being listed, and we don't have builders that are building enough new homes for, certainly in the Charlotte market, the people we have moving in and the increase in demand, and the people who maybe during the recession, huddled up and multi-generational, and now people are moving out. But we saw a general trend. So even while months supply really didn't show much decrease or increase, right? It just continued to decrease. New listings generally trended up over time. And then right here in March, that's when the pandemic hit us. And needless to say, as a homeowner, you didn't want possibly diseased people coming through your house and touching everything. So the number of new listings across our entire market plummeted. All right. And then it started to decrease up. Something happened here, January, February, March. It decreased again. But you see this trend right here over the past few months. We now are exceeding the number of new listings than we had before the pandemic. So it looks like we're continuing that upward trend of new homes coming on the market. I want to put that into a little bit more clarity for you to show you in numbers what that means. So this is from April of this year. I did not go back any further in this because the actual listings were decreasing. But in April, we had a 32% jump year over year from April of 2020. In May, another 8.5%. In June, another 12%. And that's the last data I have. It just came out. So yes, that's comparing to the pandemic times, but it shows an increase in the number of new listings. And that's what we need to really help alleviate this shortage of homes that's driving the appreciation and driving buyers absolutely mad. And that's really the fact that I think is finally starting to return some sanity to our market. This is not enough homes to move us into a buyer's market, for example, right? All we're doing is rationalizing what we've got because we need more new homes. And builders are getting an increasing number of permits to build homes. But there's a big delay there. You're talking about a year or 2-year delay between getting a permit and getting the house where somebody's actually living in it. So this is a multi-year problem we are struggling with right here, but builders are getting the permits. They're having trouble, of course, as you've heard, with getting materials such as wood, windows, appliances, and they're running into problems getting crews on the site to actually build the houses. This is really stretching out build times. What used to be done in 4 to 5 months is now taking, in some cases, 8 or 9 months or more. So rising inflation is going to put a pressure on buyers. I believe interest rates have got to start going up at some point. That's going to put increasing pressure on buyers. But then luckily we've got more houses coming on the market that's going to relieve some of the pressure in the market. But at least I think maybe the days of you see a house on a Saturday and by Saturday night there's 15 offers on it and you need to offer $100,000 more just to be considered all cash without a loan. And yeah, that's a true story and it happens dozens of times. I think we're starting to get a little bit more sanity here where maybe things are going to be going back a little bit more to normal. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you have a thought on this, please leave me a comment below. But I always appreciate, please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you are considering moving into or around the Charlotte area, please don't hesitate. Reach out to me and let me know what I can do to be of service to you.